So what are we pretending we're fine about today?
Nothing. Not on this couch. Welcome to On the Couch with Queer Corner.
Sanwonani, we are back on the couch with Queer Corner. This is our second episode. And yeah, I think we're going to just jump into the conversation. I think this time around we'll keep it a little light because I feel like in the first episode we're sticking too much into relationships and all of those things. So this time around I wanted us to go deep dive a bit in terms of relationships because I feel like now that we've developed our, because I remember the first episode it was very reserved, tense, and we were still getting to know each other, so we have gone out a few times now and the friendship is building and we did make a promise. We're about to make 1 year from actually meeting. So I want to actually get into friendship topics today. So I guess my first question, I had a conversation with my sister the other day and I was just telling her how much I struggle with people not being loyal to me. And at the end of that conversation, I discovered Uguti, actually I'm supposed to find someone who's actually just as loyal as I am, because when someone doesn't show that intense loyalty to me, because I'm going to cut you off. If someone doesn't get along with you, like, why are they talking to me?
Exactly.
And it's only because I understand you to that level. But yes, you're not perfect. Yes, you might have said something, but I know deep down, because I know you that much, the person provoked you.
Exactly. Like,
they provoked
I'm not
you.
the problem here.
Yes, you might have hit them, but they must have said something. So I wanted to ask that, like, how important is loyalty to you? And if someone isn't loyal, are you someone that disregards them, or
No, I agree with you on the subject. Like, same. If someone hurts you, especially someone, you're not on good terms with someone, what business do I have with that person if you're my friend? In fact, I cut off so many people because they were like in contact and friends with people who hurt me, like intentionally. And I was like so confused. It was, how can you say you're my friend and you love me, but like you're having events and you're going out with this person and they're bestie? Like, what do you mean?
That
so
makes no
I agree
sense.
with you totally. You can't break bread with people that are my enemies or people who've hurt me, especially. And then you say you're my friend. Like, you're playing it both ways. Like, I can't have that. I feel like at some point, if you mention something about them to me, I'm going to think you're doing the same when you're with them. Like, there's just, your loyalties are all over the place, and I'm not comfortable with that at all.
Yeah, it is very strict around here. But in saying that, because there does come a time where, because you do remove yourself from certain people, sometimes it is a space where it's a lot of friends. It's a group of people that you have to remove yourself from. So how then do you navigate that? Like, if it's a whole group of people, do you isolate yourself completely from everyone, or
Absolutely.
do you try like
no,
nitpick and say, oh, I'll see this individual because they were somewhat okay in the group? Or if everyone disrespected you, it's everyone's got to go?
No, I think it's easier for me now to speak because I recently did this, right? So it was a friend group, right? And you grieve it, man. Like, I feel like it's either you're all in or all out, because if you do hang out with one of the people from the group, the other ones are going to want to be involved in one kind of way. They're going to be commenting on anything. So I deleted everyone from my WhatsApp. I removed everyone from my life. I grieve the friendships. It's not easy because I miss them. They're my friends and I love them and I built relationships with them. But at the end of the day, man, it doesn't make sense to me that you're my friend and I love you so much and you say you love me, but you're actively doing this and you know the story, you know the extent of it, you know what happened. So I think it's a last straw type of decision. You need to decide when it's done for you or when like they've crossed the line, because your worlds will collide, your worlds will clash. For example, if there's a party and now you're invited and the same people who hurt you or whatever were invited, now it's going to be awkward. You're not going to have a good time. So just get it over with, once off, clean cut, and you start over. Like, remember, I was telling you that I was having a bit of a struggle finding true friends and all of that. But it is what it is, man. There's no rush. What is for you will find you no matter what. You don't have to force
True, because
things.
I've been in a similar situation where I had to cut off all my friends. And it wasn't necessarily that all of them did the same thing, but it was a build-up where a situation then happened where I was like, okay, everyone's got
Everyone's
to go.
gotta go.
And so it was a bit, it's been what, 2 years now?
Yeah.
And I think it was easier because I ended up going back home. Remember I told you I ended up going back home, and then when I came back to Joburg, I had no one. Like, I cut off everyone that I knew. So that alone, I'm here and I am making new friendships, but it is a bit hard because I do think about them. We were a group of friends, but I wouldn't necessarily say they were all toxic. We had some fun. We had some fun times. Like, we were those types of friends where we were also there for each other. It wasn't completely toxic. If you woke up and you didn't feel okay, we'd all drive to you and go see you. If something happened in your family, whether it was Northwest, we'd get up in the morning, drive there if you weren't okay. Like, we were actually supportive friends. They all came to my home. They all drove down from Johannesburg to KZN just to support me at my event. And so we were those very tight. People would say like, oh, if you have a large group of friends, they're not. But like, we were actually... we made it work. And even when we were here in Joburg, we would book Airbnbs just for us to be together in one place.
That's really nice.
Swim, have a braai, have those intimate moments, after you've drunk and you guys are having these cries of like how much you love each other. And so it was really difficult when I decided that, you know what, and sometimes I do think about it. I'm like, should I call them? Because there was one specific person in the group where he was like, Ayanda, you should come back. After you had left, like, we haven't been okay. I don't think I'm going to go back. Like, I do have flashbacks about it. And I'm like, maybe, because I do miss them. I'm not going to lie. But there's just so much that has happened that I'm just... Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
No, I agree. It's not easy to move on.
It isn't.
But you have to do it. You just have to. And some things you will never find while you're still holding on to others. Yeah. So it's hard, but it's necessary, And if you have that hell no, like, you're never going to go back, it means it's valid. Like, you need to stand on it. Yes, you'll miss them. It's okay to miss people. You grieve them. Sometimes it feels like it happened a long time ago. Sometimes it feels like it happened yesterday. It's the same with death. Like, it is like that. And it's just that you're grieving people who are still alive, unfortunately. But it's okay.
Yeah. That boundary is really important. So whilst we're on that topic, I wanted to talk about a situation that did happen.
Yeah.
Well, this person wasn't our friend, but... I don't know if you want to talk about it, the girl who was responsible for our podcast and why it has been delayed for so long. Because I wanted to also dive in the whole process of people thinking they're bigger than the program.
Yeah.
Because at the end she was really confused. Because I would tell this lady, like, I really like you. Like, you are an amazing person, and this is why I'm communicating 1, 2, and 3 with you. And I think at the end, when I decided to cut ties, she seemed very confused, and I'm like, you know me. You're not bigger than the program. I do like you, but as a person, but I told you if things go to shit, I have to cut you off. I'm so sorry. But like, and I think what people also get confused by is because I don't act out of character.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not going to shout at you. I'm not going to, I am going to be annoyed, obviously, because things are happening. And I am going to communicate to True. But I'm not going to give you silent treatment. I'm not going to treat you, some weird way. Yeah. And I think that's why at the end she was surprised, like, didn't you say you... I'm like, yes, I did, but...
She was confused?
Yeah.
That's weird. Like,
very.
She was avoiding us most. You remember that day we went... So why is she confused when she knows exactly what she did?
I really don't know. So I wanted to speak about, like, when people think they're bigger than the program. Like, what gets people to think that they are special?
No, it's because they get that special treatment from you,
Yes.
Because they see the difference between the way you treat them and the way you treat others. And like, oh, I have excess. Nepotism, like, it's like special treatment. But then now when they become like everyone else, now it's a shock because they're not used to that. Yeah, well, so yeah, you can't give people a pass. And things like that. And especially her, like, how many chances, how many times did you go and hear her out and drive to a place and, like, give her a chance? And all the inconvenience. Oh my days, it was ridiculous. Like I was even confused with Ayanda. You said you're done with this person, but you're like, okay, we're gonna give her another chance. So it was frustrating. I could only imagine like on your part, because you were actually fully involved and you had an agreement and there were certain things that she agreed to. But the way she was behaving, even
can
when
I
she was
actually
being
explain
avoidant,
that why I was giving her so many chances? For me, like, if I have explained something and something goes wrong, I don't abandon people. As much as I say, like, oh, my program is strict, I really do not abandon people. Like, when I give you a chance, it's a fair one, because I understand that when I let you go, I'm never going to ever see you again. And you will understand why. You will not even want to come back, because you know exactly why, which is actually the next topic that I want to actually get into. But I wanted to explain to you why I actually gave her the chances that I did. Because every time that she would explain, there was always something like, hey, can you please? And I'd be like, I understand. Let's take this chance and we can then work together. And then it would still go to shit, Exactly. It would be something new, but it was still in that same program that I do, where I give you 3 chances, fair chances.
Okay.
Yeah, but so it was that first time. Second time, we really got into it. Third time, it was like, I'm letting you, came to me emotional, explained everything. I gave it a chance.
Yeah, because she was like taking advantage at that point.
At that point.
She was really taking you for a ride. Like I could...
And I think that's why people get confused, because obviously I was communicating that with you and saying, I'm so done. But like at the same time, I understand that when I'm speaking to that person, I am still giving them grace.
Exactly.
I'm trying to understand what's happening. What's wrong? And I'd always, every time would be like, but give me something. What's going on? But to you, then I would call you and be like, Yazin, shit. Like, I'm done with this person.
No, I think what made it worse for her is she would never initiate the conversation also. So that made everything worse. Like, you'd always be looking for an update. Good, okay, what's going on? We want to publish. And then it's like, oh, can I export? Exporting takes like 24 hours, but you're taking forever. So it's very inconvenient. Especially because she's the one who bothered you, saying that she can do this. And then now when it's time to show the results, there's nothing. There's no evidence of what she said she could do. And then she wants to act like she's ghosting us, like she's not replying, giving us a run around town.
That kind of...
that's not nice.
To let it go.
It's like when someone owes you money, now you must go and chase them about that. It's not nice. It's inconvenient. And it's abusive, if anything, because you are giving her grace. Like, you drove to her to get her a better perspective. Because, I mean, on your phone, you can misunderstand. So you actually made an effort to see her in person, to hear her out. To hear her out, always. What's going on? But she still took advantage of that. So I think there's a thin line between grace and, like, because there's a saying that says that when people show you who they are, believe them. Yeah. It's just unfortunate that sometimes you need to write it out to actually see for yourself. And it's admirable also to do that, because that's who you are. And you didn't
and I don't do it for everyone. That's the thing.
Yeah, you didn't
do it for everyone.
Alter yourself for her, and to and even when you were telling me that you knew even things about her, but you never exposed them, because
I never will.
Maintained
I'm not
your
that type of person.
You see.
And I hope she knows that I'm whatever secret she ever told me, I will never speak about. That's not the type of person I am.
But the
access denied, definitely. But I wanted to also get in. This is touching a bit on relationships, but do you ever feel like your boundaries are not? I don't know how to put this question. Do you ever feel like if people return in your life, they still think they can play with you?
I find it disrespectful. If people think they can just circle back. Oh my days!
Do you think they think they can still do this? They still have access to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so too.
I feel like it's disrespectful, especially if you fumble. Like, what makes you think that I'm going to tolerate that? What makes you think I'm going to give you access? I remember it even happened to me. Remember that person that I was seeing who was acting differently after, and then how. One day, in fact, I posted a video. Anisha, last day I was doing the whole recording myself every single day. That, like, it's like on a Wednesday, I posted, if you block someone and then you unblock them for whatever reason, you are betraying yourself. Tell me why this person texted me the following day on a different account asking me to unblock her. So I felt like she saw that video and now she's testing if I will unblock and I'll break what I said yesterday. Literally, I felt like this can't be a coincidence that yesterday I posted something like this and you're asking me to unblock you on a different account the following day. Like, I found it so weird. And it's like, you know why it ended. Like, I'm the same as you to an extent, Guti. I'll give you a chance. I'll hear you out. I'll try to make it work.
Yeah.
But beyond a certain point, it's like, okay, this is not working. This does not suit me. This is compromising to me. And if you're honest, I find it so disrespectful because
it's very disrespectful.
It ended for valid reasons. I also don't give up on people, especially people that I love. But if I decide finally, because I'm a very patient person, you know. But when I reach that point where I'm just like, you make me sad, you make me feel bad, like you don't, you know, I just remove myself. So if you think after however long you want to come back and you're going to test if you still have access to me the way that you did, I'm going to treat you like everyone else. I'm going to ask you, what do you want? What can I do for you? Like, because we're not like friends. We're not close. So what makes you think that you can text me? If it gets so to a point where you're blocked even, because usually I just leave people where they are. I tell them, listen, this is not working out for me. I think we should go our separate ways. But if you are blocked and you're making extra efforts to get me to unblock you, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, it's really disrespectful.
Yeah. Because for me, like, I've never had that experience where anyone has ever came back. Ever. And I think it just boils down to, they know. Yeah. They know, like, you can't.
Yeah, you must send me.
The way I communicate is so clear. So clear, and I give you such a fair chance that if you come back, just, what are you doing? So for me, like, I always would think about it, like, is it because my boundaries are that high, or just people just feel like I'm not worth coming back to me? But like, I've actually thought about it, like, before I leave a space, I make sure there's an understanding. Not necessarily but I think the way I communicate throughout that process is just, why would you come back? There's just no reason for you to come back unless you've changed. But no.
So do you think it's because of that final stretch that you do with them and then you lay things out properly?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I get that. For me,
because I listen and I give you, because even with that lady, she would say, she's like, oh, no one has ever told me that. Like, my friends don't even tell me the things that you've told. I'm like, how? How are they not telling you? Because every time she would do something, and I'm like, it's a hard pill to swallow, because we even went through, in that conversation and we talked about how sometimes me telling the truth would hurt her. And I was like, I understand. Obviously, sometimes the truth is hard to swallow, you know, but she did acknowledge it did help her in some way. And so that's what I'm saying. When I communicate with someone, I really do care. And I really want them to feel like I'm coming from a genuine place. And I do give them that chance. And so when things end, there's no way you're coming back. You fucked up to the point where now, you can't, because even if you do come back, I'm not even answering. Yeah. That's just you being disrespectful at that point. You know?
I think for me it's more abrupt. You know, because chance number 1, chance number 2. On the third try, I'm just gonna like send one message, and then if it gets to a point where I have to block you, then I'll block you without even hearing what you have to reply.
Yeah.
And I think that's why most people like wanna text me on a different account, or you know, I'm just like, Ufuna, like, what do you think? You know? But I understand that. I think I need to learn from you in that regard.
No, I think it's just, I think the difference is just making sure that things are communicated, guys. So there's no in between. I think if you leave things in a harsh way, you leave things where they weren't fully said, I think people then think there's a gap, because they feel like they can come back and explain what they did. They can come back and say 1, 2, and 3. But if you had discussed that prior and saying, hey, this is your issue, this is why I feel the way that I feel, there's no room for them to come back if they keep fucking up. Then pelalab.
No, I agree with that. I just feel like for me, it's like I'll discuss it like once or twice. And then I'll even send it in detail. You did this and it made me feel this way. And you know, but then if they do it again for the third time, then I feel like, okay, like you're not hearing me and you don't respect me. Then that's when I cut things off abruptly, because I'm like, I already told you. You know what I mean? I feel like
what would
love
be the
is consideration.
If you...
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't even need to at the last point, say it again, because I've already said it, but there was no consideration. If you're not considering my feelings with something, especially that I did tell you I don't like, then there's no room for me to even discuss it further. I already told you once or twice at most. Beyond twice, you know.
No, I'm saying then what's the difference then if we do it exactly the same? Because now me, in my third time, I don't even mention it. I just see how you act.
No, I just think my response is for when they come back, like, you know what you did. Why are you still coming back? So I just, that gap between you communicating it twice and then the third time you leave.
Yeah.
Why do they not come back for you? But like it's like the same, and then
I think I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the clarity. I don't know, guys.
Maybe know. They tried to come back a couple of times, and I'm just like, bruh, leave me alone. Like leave me alone. And like there's nothing here for you.
Do you even respond when they do?
Nah, most of the time I don't. But if I do have to, then it's just like, because initially I wouldn't recognize the number or something. And I'm like, who's this? I'm like, what do you want? Like, honestly, what do you want? You know?
Yeah.
And then I'm saying, I'm just like, leave me alone. I think the last time I ever replied was like last year. No, a few months ago. No, last year, October. Yeah, that was the last time I had an interaction with someone. And I replied because I was like, who is this? What's going on? What do you want? My account, she's going to find another. I'm just like, bro, I'll have you arrested. Like, even if I have to go to jail. Like, bro. So I was just like, leave me alone. And she was like, I'll give you time to think. And I felt so disrespectful because I'm like, so you're saying what I'm saying is like, I'm not thinking straight. Now you're giving me time to think. And then I blocked it, and then she tried again, and I blocked. Like, it's frustrating. I think though, it's because of the type of treatment they have. I feel like they come back because they know what they did, and they're trying to still have access. That's what I don't like. I feel like that's also a boundary that I need to reinforce. Guti, you loved being with me. You loved it here. It's fine. I respect that. I know you loved it here. I made sure that you would love it here. But now, if you've lost it, let it go fully. You know what you did. I didn't want to let it go. I tried, even if you tried, but it wasn't enough. And it was a mutual decision. It's still okay, you know? Just let it go. Don't come back. Because I don't like it when people try to circle back. I find it so disrespectful. I was even talking to my partner about it too. It's so disrespectful. Like, like you're disrespecting me.
Yeah, it is disrespectful. But touching on disrespect, I feel like I wanted to talk about low maintenance friendship and how you feel about that. Do you believe in that? Is that something you do yourself, or
what's low maintenance friendship?
Those friendships where you call your friend every once in 2 months, you check up on them. It's not very much present.
No, I don't think it's supposed to be like that.
You know that saying where they say like, oh, we're busy, we're all grown now, we have busy lives.
No.
We have,
I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. No, I feel like if you want to, you will. I'm not saying let's talk every day, but like you should know that you're my friend, and you know we can make time. You know, low maintenance. I don't think that makes sense. I feel like if you want the friendship to grow, then you make it a point to.
You have to be present.
Yeah,
you have to immediately when something is happening to your friend, whether they're sick or what, you have to check whether they're going on a trip, whether you have to check in. Like, how did this go? What happened here? You can't now after 2 months
scheduling. No, I feel like it's weird also because how will the friendship grow? How will you know that this is your true friend if it's like once in a while? I understand we're busy and stuff, but it doesn't take a lot to check in, to see how they're doing, to make time, to make plans. You know, I feel like that's how friendships grow. I don't expect it to be constant, but let there be an effort. Like, let it show that, okay, we're trying to nurture this friendship. Yeah, not Gucci after 2 months or no. Like, at least once a week, twice a week. But you've never heard
that before, where people say like, oh, I love my friend so much because we don't have to talk every day.
I mean, I've heard it. Yeah. But I feel like also, if you want to, you will. If you want to nurture that friendship, if you think about this person. So you're telling me only think about me in 2 months.
That's crazy.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. If you can do that with a relationship, to nurture a relationship every single day, to check on your friends as often as possible, you know?
Just for 5 minutes.
Exactly. It doesn't take a lot of time. Yeah. I don't think.
But I'm still trying to, I feel like we did touch on that on episode 1. but it's been a few months from there, and I think I'm still struggling with friendship.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've forgotten. It's so traumatic. I don't know
Yeah.
if I've forgotten because, as I said, my friends, I cut them off, 2023? And so I haven't really made genuine friendships after that. And so, I don't know. I think I'm struggling a bit. Because I asked my sister the other day, because my sisters have friends where they call like every day. And so I'm like, what do you guys like talk
For real.
What do you guys like talk about, you know?
Yeah.
And I think I'm just, I don't know if I'm overthinking it or I think I have a bit of trauma. Because I think also my friends that I made them in university, so I didn't really have to try that hard, you know, because we were all going to the same class. I was seeing them every
all
day.
the time. Yeah.
As much as obviously the people that I did like, it wasn't an effort, you know, to actually build those friendships. So I haven't had friends like outside of that, and I think I'm struggling a little bit. So I don't know if you have some advice for me or advice for the people out there.
No, I think just try. You know, that's how even us. That's how we've been building our friendship. Like you just check in whenever you can.
Small little promises.
Yeah, you know.
There,
In fact, I was so happy when you called me the other day. I was
Really?
telling him, but I was like, Ayanda called me, and you just I was so happy.
Yeah, I'm
I was
trying
so
to,
happy. Yeah, and I see that. You know, it's the small things, and it builds up. It builds up. Even the pact that we made, it's okay. We'll try to go out at least once a month. Just to nurture. It's the trying. It's the, you know, because you feel considered. You feel like, oh, she wants to spend time with me. Oh, she wanted to just talk to me. You know, I like that.
Need to.
It's what builds, you know. And I understand the struggle because all my friends, like most of my friends, I met them in uni and most of them, like, we don't even talk anymore. You know, I have a few of them where we still try to nurture the friendships, but it's not the same because we also can't even see each other that often. But, you know, it's about trying, man.
Yeah.
If you try, things grow. You know, if you just leave it as it is and then it's low maintenance, then it's not going to go anywhere. It's just like we're status viewers and all of that. No, let's just try. And I really appreciate how you've been trying because at the beginning I was very awkward because I was like, Ayanda doesn't use her phone. Like, what's going on? You know?
No, I am making
I can see the effort.
Yeah.
And when you even update me with, I'm going home. I love that, man. I really love that.
Just
I enjoy
the small
that.
things.
Even when we were talking at the place where we went, it's really nice. It grows, you know, and it feels natural. There's no pressure.
There's no pressure.
Oh, you know, I like that. It's free flowing. That's how I feel like you know that people belong in your life when it doesn't feel hard and strained.
Yeah,
it's just
forced and
something that comes to mind. Goes, oh, I can call Lungile, I can call Ayanda, we can talk, and then that's it, you know. But I wouldn't say low maintenance. It's just the pace that it goes with, and that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like we're getting there. But I think also, I would overthink it because I feel like we would, like, to make it work, we would have to be a constant.
No, I'm not that type of person. No. It's about the trying.
Yeah.
As long as you're trying, as long as I see that you're making an effort to be my friend and reciprocating each other, then that's all that matters. You don't have to pressure yourself, Uguti. Oh, mele. I feel like that's where things feel forced, and then now we'll end up even sinning and going into things we shouldn't even be talking about and stuff. Just whatever at the time that works is what works, and that's okay.
Okay, and I think I don't know how to divert back into. There's something that you said that you liked that I didn't share. I think you said, Guti, I didn't share whatever that lady was going through at that time. Because we did have a conversation about it, and I did tell you, like, it got a bit emotional, and there was some things she did open up about, but I think that's where I ended it. Guti, I'm obviously not going to go past
generally,
so
I appreciate how you keep people's business their business. Like, you don't make people's business conversations to maintain our friendship.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be like that. Especially
so I wanted to ask
when
with
spoken.
you, are you a secret holder or what's happening there?
Yeah. I can keep a secret. I just feel like I don't engage with people much to have their secrets. I mean, I know a lot of people's secrets. So I wouldn't tell you the depths of someone unless they gave me the freedom to do so. But, you know...
Not even secrets, though. I think also just to keep it light, do you speak about your friendships to other people as well?
No.
Is that something you do?
I don't even talk to people much, yes.
Really?
Yeah, like I was even thinking about it the other day that like I told you when we went out that I do the artist way now, and it has this feature called morning pages. So every morning before you do anything, you write these pages. I feel like that's where most of the things that I would say go. You know, or even I think the only person I talk to every single day is my partner.
Yeah.
You know, so I wouldn't even talk to anybody. I mean, I'll tell you the things that I know or whatever when we're together, but not the depths of people's like privacy. I don't think it's my place.
Because I also am discovering this thing about myself. Also, I don't like finding things about myself from other people. Like I will cut you off immediately. That's like one thing I've discovered recently. I will cut you off because of that. Like if I hear that, oh, you did this, that, I'm cutting you off.
So if I can't
do
tell,
not
like
trust
AYANDA Bati when like
no, if let's say oh, I heard from so and so that you were what. I'm cutting that person off.
Yeah,
because
makes sense.
So like that trust thing, I discovered it recently, maybe like 4 months ago. I will cut you off immediately. So not even like a secret holder vibe, but like just like if I'm hanging out with you, I'm hearing we did once and why. Why?
Okay, I understand that fully.
I know it's not deep
I understand that fully.
I know it's not deep for a lot of people, but for me...
No, I get it. Especially when you're doing things...
Someone you can keep things
with someone and then, now it's like everybody knows.
Everyone
I feel
knows.
like with me, I will say those things about myself, but not about others necessarily. Like if we're spending time together and I'm telling you, it's only if it affects me or I feel like that space is not a place where I want to be in, and then I'm telling you, I was with these people and this is what we did, and I removed myself because of 1, 2, and 3, and I didn't like that. You know, even the time when you were telling me about that party and that you and I was like,
so now you can't even have fun. Me, I'm not hanging out with you because you are kulum.
So I was just like, hey, I removed myself because of 1, 2, and 3, and that's why I don't chill with these people anymore.
You know.
But I totally get that. It's like angeke sibe free phambi kwakho because uzohamba yo.
Can't even that bores me so I'm cutting you off immediately because of that.
The most I'll do, I'll tell you my share with I did this and this and this, but let people decide what they want to share and not, man.
Okay. And then I think one last question that I have for this segment, I don't know if you have anything else you'd want to say about friendship, but what's one thing that you know when someone really likes you in your life, whether that's a friend or your partner? Like, what's that characteristic trait or something that they do constantly where you're like, okay, this person likes me? Or
when a person listens and considers, you know, I feel like it's also one of the things that I've realized the most at this point in my life. When someone really cares about you, you never have to repeat yourself.
True.
You know, you can mention something once and the person who loves you is not necessarily afraid to lose you. They're afraid to hurt you.
Yeah.
Because if someone is afraid to lose you, it means it's for them. It's not necessarily for you. Because someone can want to keep you, but they're not being good to you. So I think the person who is considerate of how you feel, even if it has nothing to do with you, but if it directly affects you, I think that's the most important thing for me. Like, consideration. If you consider my feelings, if you remember the things that I told you, you know, making an effort, because I remember I was telling you that at one point I stopped texting people first, and I didn't hear from my friends for like 2 months, 3 months, and I was like, how? Like, you know in your heart, like, you know that I always check up on you at least once or twice a week, but I never hear from you. And I actually did an experiment for that. So consideration, think about me as much as I think about you. The same. Makes like sense. Reciprocation, man. It's not complicated. You know,
I think that's the same.
If you like me, you think about me, you know?
Yeah, I think for me as well, it's just someone remembering the small details about me. And things that you don't have to mention twice. Yeah, I think remembering details.
Exactly. Yeah,
I don't know if you have any more questions, because I feel like I was asking so many questions on my side. Do you have anything you'd like to explore in terms of friendships?
Yeah, like you remember the last time we were together, I was saying like we should go out more. even if we don't like go to an event, like we can go for a brunch, you know, just to nurture our friendship. I feel like it's much, much better now than before.
I think people get confused because like there's these ladies who ask me, I told you about it. They asked me if I was friends with you, which is very odd. But they asked me if I was friends with you. And I was like, yeah, she's a potential friend and we're building a friendship. And it's like, what do you mean building a friendship? I'm like, don't people build friendships?
People just want to dive into it.
Yeah, because like every time I speak, I feel like people just get weirded out by, or maybe I'm the one who has boundaries because I'm like,
I mean, that's important
because I take that very serious. If someone's going to be my friend, they're going to be my friend. So I'm because when we sat there and these ladies were saying they're very close friends, and as we're getting into the conversation, they don't even know each other's birthdays, they don't even know. So I'm like, what type of friendships do you guys then have if you're questioning me, saying, yes, I do have a potential friend and we are building a friendship. And then you guys are questioning if I'm a little strict.
No, I feel like people only make that effort when it comes to umjol. And that's where a lot of problems, betrayals happen.
And it's not the same.
Because you nurture these things the same way. I feel like I was even telling, I don't know if it was you or some Guti, your relationship is a part of your life. It's not your whole life. So you'll find that you're investing all of yourself into one thing, but your friendships are lacking. Like you said, these people are saying they're close friends. They don't even know each other's birthdays. So I appreciate the slow burn of things now. I feel like before I used to be a dive into things. But that's where a lot of chaos takes place. And I don't like chaos, man. I like certainty. I like knowing. Because I know that if you're saying I'm your friend, I'm really your friend.
You are
it's
going
not
to be.
just in Deoguti. We're saying it for passing, like in passing, just because we know each other. No. It's very important to know. Because you also have the right to decide, it's okay, no, I don't think I want to be friends with you because I saw this and this. The same with relationships, talking stages. So, like,
it has to be the same. Because I know it will take so much of my energy.
Exactly.
Because I feel like even if you called me at like 4 a.m., I wouldn't even ask if you told me to come there. I would drop everything and drive to you because you mean that much to me.
Yeah.
So if I just loosely I wouldn't do that. Like, why? I'd be like, no, I'm in bed. Because I won't do that for anyone. I don't just go around doing that for people. So I think it's that thing of, I also want people to take me seriously. When I say, you in my life. You in my life, because also I will give you information that no one else knows as well.
Exactly.
So I want you to hold that, as strict as people might think I am. I'd rather that.
Rather be strict.
I'd rather that.
Rather than just allow anything and everything. I feel like that's where, because monitoring spirits, all these things, access is power. Access is power. Like, there's so much. I was even telling Ufiana the other day, Wuti, she was saying that, is it okay to tell people that you're okay even when you're not okay? I was like, not everyone deserves to know that part of you.
True.
Not everybody deserves that much access. If you feel like you can trust this person, by all means you can be honest. But you tell them that you're okay even when you're not, because what's gonna happen here? You know what I mean? So I really, really agree with that, to say not everybody deserves access to you in any capacity. Some people value you have to lie to them or deceive them because you don't know their intentions, really. Like, people just want to absorb as much about you as possible for whatever reason that you might not even know. Some people, they call themselves your friends, but mumming it easy you. So
yeah. I feel like I cut you off though at the point you're explaining us building our relationship. The month.
No. The what?
The going on the month.
Yeah, we should. Anything. Like, literally anything. Ranch. You said you're into, like, hobbies now, so we can do that.
Try some of those.
Like, you can go into those, for sure. Like, I was even telling Johanna too, I feel like that's gonna solve my fear of heights. I was even telling
bungee jumping.
Like, I feel like I'm afraid of heights, but I feel like when I do that, I won't fear heights anymore. Like, I just have that feeling. But definitely anything.
Slow burn friendship should be a thing.
Yeah, not just relationships. We invest so much in umjolo, but your friendships are in the shackles. Like, nurture your friendships as well, because most of the time, your friends become your family.
Yeah.
When your family is not the way that you need them to be. So I've never really had, because even when you were telling me about your friends, Guti, you would stay together and do things together. I've never had that.
Really?
Like, never. I was telling you, like, I'm still working on nurturing friendships, especially with you, and because I really trust you and I know that your intentions are good.
Yeah.
I'm very skeptical with people because I've had very bad experiences with people.
Yeah.
I've had people like saying you love me, but your best friend is someone who hurt me intentionally for no reason. But you're saying you love me. How does that make sense? You know, so I'm very skeptical and I keep to myself to a certain point. That's what I was telling you when you were saying that your friends have hurt you. I was confused because I've never had that. I've never let a friend in that far to be able to hurt me that much. So now I'm trying to be more intentional so that I can really see the value and really no risk, no reward. So the same thing, if I'm giving you that access, I know that you have the power to hurt me.
It is a lot.
But still, I'm trusting you anyway because, you know, I can see how it's growing and I love it. I'm okay with it, you know. I don't want to regret it at the end of the day because one foot in, one foot out.
Yeah, you have
but
to
at the same time, I want to be intentional about it, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah, as I said, I'm trying to find that balance of obviously and having relationships outside of school. So
yeah.
I think that's what I've just been panicking about. So am I doing it right? Because there's another lady. I don't know why I call women ladies. I should remember that. But there's another woman I'm trying to make friends with. And me and her, she's into netball, so we do trying to do that whole netball thing. And recently I came out. Is it coming out? At this point? Yeah, I guess so. She just didn't know. I thought I mentioned it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I told her, but she didn't even think twice about it. She's like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're getting close also. Yeah, and with her as well, it's been intentional. It's been very slow burn. And as I speak to her, like I'm realizing also you're supposed to give your friends so much grace.
Yeah.
And I think the only reason why I haven't been giving grace to friends that I have previously tried to be friends with is because I really didn't like them. So I noticed I actually have to have that foundation where I do like you, as a person, and then try to build from there. Because I think I would quickly rush into it and be like, oh, there's an interest, but like there wasn't that deep value, that deep sense of us understanding each other. It would be just the, oh, you sound interesting, let's just, you know. And so, yeah, I think that as well as after liking someone in the friendship, I think there's a lot of grace that comes with it because there was certain, we went out for dinner, the other night and I had forgotten her birthday. Imagine. And she was like, no, that's okay. Like, and I know you, Ngiyakwazi AYANDA, like you probably were busy, you know. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Because like I thought it was in June for some reason. And it was in April, like a week before. Yeah. And she was still like, no, man, like don't, you know, she didn't make it a big deal or make it seem like, oh, AYANDA akafuni ndiyabona nje, it wasn't that thing, you know. And other things that I noticed that when we were speaking about, I had made mistakes and she didn't even mention them at all. And I was like, actually, this is what I want in a friendship where you can make mistakes and it's not even brought up because someone understands you as a person. I was like, oh, okay, this is how it works. All right. I took note of that. Yeah, that's pretty much.
No.
I'm discovering izinto that I'm just like, okay, this is what I'll bring into other friendships that I make. Try give grace and not panic and think someone is, you know, being a little weirdo malicious, because I do have trauma.
No, I agree with you, Nay, in terms of giving people grace. But don't you think like people should bring things up so that they're not repeated? Because
if
I
they're
feel like
small things, no, I don't think so. Because the things she was talking about was small.
Yeah, because I feel like some things, if you don't bring them up and they happen over and over, it can build resentment.
Yeah, if it's big things, but like those things were like small minor mistakes. Obviously, if I'm doing something to hurt you, it's not intentional. But yes, bring it up to me so I don't, you know, do it. But those things, like as I said, like me forgetting her birthday, it was a new friendship. I didn't know her last year. I don't think we had spoken about birthdays, so it was never going to be intentional. I don't think Because when it was my birthday, she sent me money, took me out. It was a whole thing. So I can't remember why I thought her birthday was in June, but genuinely, I really thought it was. And so when she mentioned it, and she's like, "No, man, I just
Okay.
I'm
That
not
makes
putting
sense.
it
That
over
makes
you," even though
sense.
I felt bad. But yeah, I
Yeah.
made it up to her. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but people, yeah, you should bring things up if they do.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the more you bring them up, because things continue and people get used to those patterns and those cycles, and then they feel like it's okay. But if it hurts you, you should definitely bring it up, or if it makes you feel uncomfortable. But yeah, I see what you mean.
Okay. I was out with some new people recently on Monday. I told you about this. Those two ladies.
Yeah.
I find it a bit sinister. They were friends, by the way. They were close friends.
Yeah.
I find it sinister when you're sitting with people and they have a conversation by themselves, especially if there's three of us and you guys know each other and the other person doesn't. There's something sinister about that. Like, I don't know if it's people not having empathy at the fact that there's another person in the room. Because for me, I feel like if you are sitting with different people, you shouldn't be even speaking about things that they don't even know about.
Yeah.
Isn't that like a thing
It's
people
very
know?
weird. I feel like it's that's why I don't like trios. You always have a favorite, even like when you meet
Even
people
if you
who are
have,
already
I've
friends.
been in situations like that. It's like human courtesy. You do not do that.
You can't. It's impolite.
Even you're talking about an invite where someone is not invited and you know they can't. You don't bring up things like that.
Exactly. You need to have conversations that involve this person by any means necessary. I mean, you can't all be speaking at the same time, but you must have inclusive conversation. I think that's rude. That's rude. Why are you talking about things that I'm not aware of? It's like they say, "Oh, we have business that you're not involved in or something." It's bad
not even
manners.
that. I think it's just emotional intelligence. I think it just boils down to that, because there's no way there's a third person that don't even know who we're talking about, what we're talking about, and they're just sitting there. That's crazy.
That's what they were doing? For how long?
They had multiple conversations like that, so obviously I can't even comment because I don't know who you're talking about or what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, they didn't read the room. They didn't practice.
Yeah, just so those types of people, it's automatic things like that where I'm like, oh, I don't never want to hang out with you guys again.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's why you find me on my phone, and then it's like this. But I would have left, honestly, because really, what's going on here? Because now it's like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna ask about it? Now you seem nosy, or are you going to just sit there and listen? It's awkward. It's awkward.
I think it was one of those situations where I didn't mind being there, but it was an absolute never going to hang out with these people again, even if they asked me to. It was a decision that was made right there and then. They're not my type of people.
Even based on other things.
Yeah. Conversation-wise, just actions throughout the night. The conversations were a little...
How did you meet them? Like,
I don't think I want to talk about them because I think they... I don't want to talk about them. So,
yeah, no, you shouldn't see them anymore.
Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you for tuning in on episode 2. See you guys on episode 3.